must change your identity. So right here, right now, I want you to ask yourself a question in your mind. You can just close your eyes and let this video play for a second. How do I see myself? What kind of person am I? Say that question in your mind right now. What kind of person am I? How do I see myself? Who am I? And don't big this up. You know, you've just watched me kind of like rant with a bit of confidence. Don't say, yeah, I'm a really sick guy. Genuinely think about your habits, especially the bad ones. Think about them. Think about what you want to improve on. And then truly see like a summary of who you are in your mind. A realistic summary. Chances are, if you are watching videos like this identity of yourself that you're thinking of right now, this summary that you've just built up, this, like flashes of your habits that you've just built up, chances are it's going to be kind of negative. Do you know, if you were an amazing, positive guy, then, you probably wouldn't need to watch a video about how to cure bad habits, would you? So it's probably going to be kind of a negative perception of yourself. You might see yourself as somewhat of a loser, certainly not a winner. You might see yourself as the kind of guy who's been struggling to get girls, who feels a little bit lonely, the kind of guy who's maybe a little bit addicted to video games and junk food and all these things. You know what's interesting? We've never considered this, and it seems crazy to think this, and hopefully you can just understand what I'm about to say. You may be addicted to video games, not because you've been playing them for so long, so now you just built up an addiction of them, but maybe because you see yourself as a gamer. Does that make sense? It may not have been our actions that actually caused us to get here. It may actually have been our identity, our self-image that caused us to get here. There's a slight difference. Most people think that all you need to do is just take action, don't they? That, yep, just take action, just take action. But a guy who sees himself as a fat man who takes action, okay, he'll take action for a week and he'll lose 1 pound of fat, but he was 270 pounds before. He's 269 pounds. He doesn't look any different. He doesn't even feel any different. He still sees himself as a fat man. And so what is a guy who genuinely believes that he is a fat man going to eventually do, which aligns with his personality and his perception of himself? Well, he's going to go reach for that junk food within a week, isn't he? He's not going to be able to stay onto the good habits he's doing. But what if this same guy who considers himself to be a fat man closed his eyes every single day for 5 minutes and started to see his body transform and his athleticism improve to the point that he no longer saw himself as a fat man, but rather an athlete? And what if this same guy started to say to himself, even at 270 pounds, even at 30% body fat, he started to say in his mind, I am an athlete. I am an athlete. I am an athlete. What if he started to surround himself with athletes? What if he started to consume the content of athletes and be like, yep, I'm just like this guy. So this athlete, he wakes up and he has a protein shake every day. Okay, I'm gonna wake up and have a protein shake every day because that's what athletes do. I'm an athlete now, so athletes have protein. Okay, so what if he started to do the identity shift first in almost like a delusionary way, in almost like, a silly way? He's 270 pounds, he's fat. He genuinely, objectively is fat. But if he started to just see himself as an athlete, he would probably make more progress than he's ever done before. And what about you? What if, in a silly way, just like this guy, what if you close your eyes and every single day take 5 minutes to start to see yourself as a Chad, as one of those guys that actually gets the attraction of girls? What if you genuinely start to believe that you are that kind of guy and you start to form this very strong belief like, yep, yes I am. I'm a Chad, I'm a Chad, I'm a Chad. I'm the guy who gets a lot of girls. A lot of girls are attracted to me. Of course they are. And you start watching some YouTube videos of some guys who look like Chads and you see how they dress and how they talk to girls. You start following, if you've got Instagram, you start following like some guys who look like Chads, and you see like they've got girls subtly in the pictures. Okay, this is the kind of caption that a Chad puts onto his picture. This sounds cringe, obviously, but just what if you just did this? You don't have to tell anyone that you're trying to become a Chad. You don't have to, publicize this. But what if you just did this? What if you stopped seeing yourself as the loser who struggles to get girls, and instead you just started to pretend 5-10 minutes a day, you'd close your eyes and just started to think, yep, I am a Chad. Yeah, that girl who I've got a crush on, no, she's got a crush on me. She's just really nervous. What if you started to think for yourself? What if you started to actually think positive thoughts? Because I can tell you from experience, that's one of the strongest things you can ever do in your life. You know what I just said specifically? Like, imagine that girl that you've got a crush on. Destroy this thought in your mind that, yeah, I've got a crush on her and she's, no. Change that thought to, yeah, she has a crush on me, but she's just nervous. And I promise you right now, that's one of the best pieces of dating advice you'll ever get in your entire life. If you plant that thought in your mind, no matter how silly it is, even if you're unattractive, you are slightly more likely to attract her because you have the right belief set. Now, you probably have a lot of work to do. This isn't to say, oh yeah, just, think that you're a 6'7" muscular guy and it's suddenly gonna work. Of course not. But your beliefs, your identity, your self-image leads to the consistent long-term action that causes you to be there. I, at age 17, 18, 19, saw myself as a leader. I started to see myself as like a guy who had elevated his status in the social hierarchy. And so I started to put the work in for that. And it wasn't amazing, but it started to come true. Age 19, when I first started to actually date girls, I started to see myself as like one of these chads that has multiple girls for him. And then I started to act like it. And I started to go to the gym and become a little bit more attractive and take better pictures for Tinder and Instagram. And it started to become true. I didn't suddenly just become like a 10 out of 10. My eyelid shape didn't change, so I had like hunter eyes or anything. No, none of that changed. Interestingly, the results that I had in life started to change because I started to believe I was that guy.